I've got a block to cut. And remember those extra blocks off of those 10 footers? Well, I got them right here, and I need a 14 and a half. Oh, what was it? 14 and a quarter. And I know I can get that out of the smallest block. But if you got some extra blocks, you see how much longer this one is? These two are almost the same length. And so I'm not going to cut them out of that. I'm going to cut it out of my smallest piece if I've got a few just to check with, because I may need those other ones, you know, for something else. I took my nail bag off because I've been having to get up inside that little column, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I just need to cut one more block here. Okay, so let's see, I'm gluing this up there, and I'll show you that, but let's see, I'm going to put some screws in it, and it's going up against the half-inch OSB, and so I'm going to use my 2-inch screws, right? And I'm just doing this to sink them into the wood, because the OSB might not let me sink it in here before it starts spinning. So now I'm just going to back these out 1/2 inch. Okay. Now I'm going to put my liquid nails on here, and I just put the circles again. And I want a continuous circle. I don't want any air to come out. Okay, there. Kaboom, kaboom. Okay, that's it. Now I can put that block in and screw it down. I'm almost done with my inside of my column, and I'll show you that in a minute. But see, I've been putting blocks like this, and I've got the glue underneath it. And I might even put some little tabs on here, those little metal clips. But I want this whole thing to be tied together, so I guess I will put a clip in there and a clip in there. And I just wanted to show you, you measure those, when you put them in, it's like, my word, is it gonna fit or not? Because it's hitting on the outside front and the back side left. And when you get a block in there, you gotta measure it first, make sure it's gonna fit, and then you just have to kind of put it in at an angle like that and start banging on it with your hammer. So that's what I'm going to do here. I just want this box to be nice and tight, and you know, at this point I just want to do the best I can with it. It doesn't have to be perfectly level. Looks like the left-hand side's got to go up a little bit. Let's see if I can't get it. Just do it like that. Oh, that's right. That last OSB right there is 2 thicknesses. Remember, I put the new over the old, and so these screws I could have technically, let's see, 1.5 inches plus a 1/2 inch is 2, plus another 1/2 inch is 2.5. But see, I got that in there snug, and it's glued, so it's okay. I don't need to put in any longer screws or anything. Okay, there you go. Look at this thing. That's nice. I got the 1/2 inch just like I need. I went ahead and put some screws into the step, and that supported the middle. I even had to shim it over. I measured something, cut it to try to push this over tighter up against here. And before I put it in, I even put glue, liquid nails, from here up on that edge, and on the back side of this too. Before, you know, and then I pushed it up there gently, slid it over to the right a little bit, and then I pushed it over, and the glue went on there. I even went ahead and put some liquid nails on after the fact a little bit, and got that screwed. See that block way up high? I put a block up there. I got that block up there. I even put a little bit of liquid nails up along where the 2x6 was tight to the OSB paneling. And I got this nice and snug because once I tighten up the bolts on the outside for the rail, that sucked it in. And then I got that tight. Now this middle one here, this middle 2x6 over here, the bolts were actually over here, do you remember? So technically, could I have left this 2x6 out? Yeah, probably. I probably could have left that one out, but there was one there from before, and I figured I might as well go ahead and do that. I even put one here over the top of that other old one to stiffen that up, and I screwed it. I screwed it really good on up, attached it, and on this middle one, I went ahead and see, I went ahead and put some more screws on there too. And so that strengthens this up too. It's going to help me when I put a block across there for the floor. I know I've got backing all over the place. Okay, and all that. So I've got to put another block. I'm going to put another block here to hang down a little bit too, so that I can get backing for this joint here, so I can get screws on both sides. So I guess that's the block I'll do next. Man, I'm almost done. I'm almost done with this. See, I put some little clips in here next to the anchor bolt, and that worked out nicely, didn't it? This one here, this bolt was in the way, but I could screw this onto here. That's okay. I don't need to go all the way down. I could have notched this, but that's not really going to do anything. This one was nice and secure. If this one was loose or anything, I could have mortised that down and then put some little tab brackets here for that. But look at that box. You see how nice and solid looking that box is now. Look at that. It's almost like a brand new spanking box. It's unbelievable how I was able to do that. I got all that stuff in. Now, before I cover this up, once I put this top block, then I have to start looking for other blocks. Like, see, for this, it's going to come through, going to come across, and it's going to hit on the outside of the plywood. I'm going to put the plywood down here first, okay? But I've got to make sure I have a block here too. And then I can put a joist hanger, a side hanger like that. In fact, I got the one that was there from before, and it's all it's all kind of rusty a little bit, but this is galvanized. So that rust was from the wood marking it up. This is galvanized. Galvanized is not supposed to rust. This is nice and stiff. I even went to 2 hardware stores, could not find this same one. I even went to a place that sold all kinds of Simpson ties in a warehouse, box after box after box. He didn't have this same layout. He had a 7-inch, a 9-inch, and the layout wasn't the same hole pattern. He had a 9-inch with 5 holes, and here I got an 8-inch with 6 holes. Because see, I was going to take this one off, and if I could have found another one with the same hole pattern, then I could have put a brand new one there, taken those screws out of there, and then reused the same screw holes through the stucco, because I went on the back side and it's going through the OSB plywood on the other side. That was kind of slick how they've got holes there in the inside corner. They used screws and they ran those long screws into the 2x4. There's a 2x4, 2x6 on the edge all the way up the column. So, you know, I couldn't find them, and I thought, okay, phooey on that. I'm just going to use what I have. I'm going to use the same one. So see, this is going to go on the outside of the box after I put the plywood on here, and it's going to go right in here somewhere. So you see, I've got to have backing for that. I don't want to just screw that into just plywood. See, if I just screw it into plywood, I'm only getting the strength of 1/2 inch, and so I need to have a block. I'd like to have a block through there, and that's going to hold the weight. And I'm going to have a double one. You'll see how I do that. You'll just have to keep watching my videos for that. I'm not going to show that on this particular video clip, okay? But I still got to get some blocks in there, okay? So a blocking, I will go. I've got a couple more blocks here from the 2x6s that I cut off. Never throw away your blocks. And then I'll be able to figure out what to do next. See all these I've done already? All these clips out of those other pieces that I had used initially, and I cut them up, and now I can use them for little smaller clips. I'm using a scratch-all here, and there's a difference between scratch-alls. Did you know that? Not all scratch-alls are the same. See that? That's metal. That's a continuous metal piece that goes all the way through here. Some scratch-alls don't have that. If you see just a wood head, obviously those are cheaper, and you might think, oh, what's the difference? Well, the first time I got a scratch-all, I got the one without this metal right here, and it was just a wood head, and after a while of tapping on it, it cracked and it fell apart. And it didn't last me as long as this one. This one happens to be a Stanley. You can see it right there. But you don't have to get Stanley. You don't have to find Stanley. But this one's been a really good one for me. This tip has been sharp pretty much since day one. And I could sharpen that up with a stone or something, or a belt sander, and just kind of hold it at an angle and make the tip a lot sharper. It's not as sharp as it used to be, but it still does the trick. Okay, so when you go to the store to get a scratch-all, and I use this thing for all kinds of things. I never know what I'm going to need it for. Spend a few extra dollars and get the good one. You won't regret it. There's your tip for the day.